What is up, everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my solo heroic skill build for TU 10.1. With this build, I can run just about any heroic mission by myself with relative ease as long as I play my cards right. Just throw those skills out there and let them do the work for you. Now, I recently did a video showing a solo heroic run on District Union Arena, so if you'd like to see some gameplay of that, definitely check that video out. The link will be in the description. Now, on that video, a few people had asked for the build, so here it is. Now, I hope you enjoy and find this video helpful. If you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It really does help get the video recommended to others, as well as subscribe for future Division content if you are new to the channel, and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So, let's get into this. Alright everyone, and here it is. So as you can see up top there, I'm going to be using the Technician Specialization, and you might be wondering why, since I'm already at Skill Tier 6, that might seem like a waste, but let me explain it to you. The reason I'm doing so is because, well, a couple of reasons. One, we're going to be getting some extra damage towards robotics, and that's really going to help you out with those doggos and the mini tanks that have that armor that's, sometimes hard to crack when you're running all skills, as well as we get an extra 10% skill damage. Now, that's going to push the turret skill damage that extra amount, as well as with the Seekers. And from what I have found during testing, if you are at Skill Tier 6 with the Technician on, your Seekers will be doing more than if you had the Demolitionist on. I don't understand really why. Maybe because the skill damage is kind of a blanket overall compared to just focusing on the explosive damage, but then again, Seekers are explosive, so I don't know. Maybe someone can help me out with that down in the comments, but I tested it out. The numbers are definitely higher with the extra 10% skill damage compared to the explosive damage on the Demolitionist. So as far as the core attributes go, we're talking 0 reds, 0 blue, 6 yellows, and 1 red, 1 little straggler. It's just a mod slot basically. We got 0 blues and 14 yellows. Now our armor is sitting at 726,000 and our health is 318,000 at skill tier 6. So let's get on to these weapons. Alright, so for my primary weapon, I'm going to be using the Harmony. I love this weapon right here. It has some good base damage, good RPM, and a big magazine, and the talent that really does make it. We're talking 146.8k per bullet base damage, 300 RPM, so you could wrap this thing off pretty fast with 54 in the mag. 54 in the mag, so you could shoot for quite some time without having to reload. Now, as far as the attributes go, we have 15% rifle damage, 17 crit hit damage, and 9.5 magazine size. Now, I do like that magazine size, but if it was some crit hit chance or damage to armor, it might be a little bit better, but overall it's been working out really nice. Now again, the talent is what makes it perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damages increase are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So it's always going to be going at the same time. When that turret is out there and it's shooting an NPC, we're always going to be getting that 20% weapon damage up. And when we are shooting them with the weapon, then we push that skill damage to another 20%. Gotta love that right there. And again, this goes hand in hand with the backpack and the chest piece talent. Gotta love this thing right here. Now, as far as the mods go, nothing too crazy. Crit chance on the optic. We have crit chance on the underbarrel. We have 20 rounds extra on the magazine. And we have 5% crit hit chance on the muzzle right there. So pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy right there. Now, as far as my secondary, it's basically the same thing except the AK version. That's all it is. I mean, pretty straightforward on that. It just has regular in sync, so it's 15% instead of the 20. But regardless, it is what it is. They've been working out nice. I've been using the AK for crowd control if they get up too close to you, and using the Harmony for shooting at a distance. So let's get on to these gear pieces. Alright, so let's start out with the mask here. It is China Light. We have the 2-piece active giving us that plus 15% explosive damage and plus 10% skill haste. Gotta love that right there. Core attribute plus 1 skill tier, and we have some god roll attributes as you can see right here. Got really lucky with this one. 10% skill damage, 12% skill haste with 12% skill haste for the mod. Whew! That just looks pretty right there. Gotta love that right there. Let's get on to the chest piece. Alright, so for the chest piece, it is Wyvern. We get that plus 10% skill damage just for wearing it, plus 1 skill tier, 10% skill damage, and 9.4% status effects. In a perfect world, that status effect would be skill haste, but Wyvern just does not drop good rolls for me. I don't know what the deal is. I'm lucky I even got this, to be honest. 11.4 skill haste for the mod, and the talent tag team. Gotta love this one right here. The last enemy you have damaged with a skill is marked. Basically puts that little skull icon above them. Dealing weapon damage to that enemy consumes the mark to reduce active skill cooldowns by 6 seconds. The cooldown is 4 seconds. So every 4 seconds you can drop 6 seconds off of your Seeker, and that's basically what I'm going for. Try to get these Seekers back as much as possible. The cooldown is only 24 seconds as is, so the more I use this tag team, the quicker I get them back. I gotta love that right there. Alright, so onto the holster here. It is, again, China Light. We have that +1 skill tier and 2 more God rolls, 10% skill damage and 12% skill haste. Max out that skill damage, skill haste as much as you can on a build like this. You will not regret it. Now onto the knee pads. They are Hannah U. We have the 2-piece active giving us that plus 10% skill haste as well as 10% skill damage. Gotta love that right there. +1 skill tier, 12% skill haste and 10% skill damage for the attributes. Again, push the skill haste, skill damage as much as possible. Now onto the gloves here. They are Murakami, plus 20% duration just for wearing them, and that really does make an impact on the turret. The turret duration went from, I believe, 180 seconds to 220 seconds, something like that, just for putting on a piece of Murakami. And we also have that 12% skill haste and another 10% skill damage. Push that as much as you can. I have been loving it. Alright, so on to the final piece here. It is the Force Multiplier named Hannah U backpack. This one I do use for other builds, so keep that in mind. But overall, it still has been working out really nice. We got that +1 skill tier, 10% status effect that, again, should be skill haste. But like I said, I use this for other builds as well. 10% skill damage, that's what I'm focusing on. That's really what matters. 11.5 crit hit damage for the mod. Now, as far as the talent goes, we're talking Perfect Combined Arms. I love this talent right here. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. It's not for too long, it's only for 3 seconds, but when you take a look at the chest talent that requires you to shoot the NPC, as well as the weapon talent that requires you to shoot the NPC, hey, when you got them all lined up, proc going, it gets nasty really, really quick. Definitely try this one out, guys. It hits like a truck. Alright, so let's take a look at these skills before we go off to the stat sheet. I'm going to be going with the Cluster Seeker Mines because they spread out, they go all over the place, they take out NPCs by themselves, and I just love that right there. The cooldown, the base cooldown I should say, 24 seconds flat. The damage, 2.7 million. Now, the damage could be better if you were using something like Glass Cannon or whatever, but at the same time, you are a lot more squishy. So, to me, I'm going with Tag Team just to get them back more often. That way I'm doing that damage more often compared to bigger numbers every once in a while. I go more for consistency. That's just my playstyle, but I'll leave that up to you. Now, I got 10 mines I can throw out there. The blast radius 2 meters, and we are at skill tier 6, 60% damage with +6 cluster mines. Gotta love that right there. Now, as far as the turret goes, it is the assault turret. The cooldown is 11.7 seconds. So, I mean, that's like nothing. And then with the tag team on, if that procs it, is basically instantly back. Duration 220 seconds. Gotta love that right there. The health 5.58 million. So good luck popping that thing. I mean, very, very rarely do they pop that. Even on a legendary, it doesn't even get popped that often. The damage, 119,000 base damage, I should say. And we are at skill tier 6, 120% damage and 420% health. Whew, gotta love that right there. So let's get on to the stat sheet. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little recap breakdown here on the stat sheet. Now again, the weapon talents that I'm going to be using on my primary, perfectly in sync. We have a secondary with in sync, my sidearm, preservation, and we have some guided missiles to play with. Gotta love that right there. Those are always fun. Now as far as the weapon stats go, we're talking 146,000 per bullet, 25% crit hit chance, 73.5 crit hit damage with 62.8 headshot damage. So if you can land those headshot crit shots, you might be doing some pretty good numbers. But we do have some awesome range on this weapon. 60 meters. 60. So basically, if you can see it, you can hit it. I mean, pretty straightforward on that. 2.5 second reload time. We have some accuracy stability down here. We have 20% ammo capacity right there. I did max that out on my watch. We have 10% all weapon damage bonus with 30% rifle damage bonus. And in my opinion, that's pretty much the max you're going to be able to get on a skill build like this. So do with it what you can, you know what I mean? As far as the gear talents go, we're talking Perfect Combined Arms with Tag Team, Put those two together with InSync on your weapon and you will be having a blast. I promise you that right there. Now as far as the gear sets go, we're talking 2-piece China Light, 2-piece Hana Yu, 1-piece Wyvern, and 1-piece Murakami. I don't know why Hana Yu still does not have their own logo on here. It just comes up as China Light, but it is what it is. Now as far as defense goes, we're talking 726,000 armor, 318,000 health, and we have a little bit of health regen. Nothing too crazy. We have pulse resistance, not like it matters, a little bit of explosive resistance, and we have 10% hazard protection. So 10% all the way down the board there. Pretty straightforward on that, not too bad. And as far as the skills go, we pretty much went over what I'm going to be using, the Cluster Seekers and the Assault Turret, but we have 101.4 skill haste. 101.4. Gotta love that. I'm proud of that. Broke 100% skill haste, so we can use our skills extremely fast if they get popped or if they go down. You know, whatever. You get them back real quick, and I have been loving it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. And there you have it, everyone, my solo heroic skill build for TU 10.1. This build makes farming that target loot extremely easy and effective, as well as makes legendaries a breeze with a full team running the same or similar builds. Now I hope you all enjoyed and found this video useful. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future Division content if you are new to the channel, and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So until next time guys, I hope you take it easy, be safe out there, I will see you then, later.